Welcome to today's Spine and Midline Health Flow. We're going to start in a standing posture at the top of your mat. Once you get there, if you have any sort of music that you want to play, go ahead and play it. I also have a couple of playlists, and you can play those if you want to. Make sure you have a couple of blocks and a blanket and a strap or something to extend your reach is optional. It could be a towel, it could be a scarf, anything like that. Let's get started. So starting at the top of your mat, go ahead and roll the shoulders 3 times back and 3 times forward. And then let your hands just fall down by the sides, make the ears fall away, or the shoulders fall away from the ears, and close your eyes. Start to notice your stance. Notice if you are tilting forward or tilting back, and really think about putting your weight into the heels. Now imagine that you're digging all your 10 toes down into the ground, like you're trying to grab the floor. And now imagine that you have a string pulling you from the very crown of your head up, 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 making you nice and tall. And then the last thing, imagine that you have your belly button just hugging up into your spine, and your rib cage, instead of flaring out, is tucking in. And you have a nice neutral stance. And take a deep breath in to the belly, all the way, inflating your belly like a balloon. Maybe put both hands to the belly and feel it as you breathe. And exhale with a sigh. 2 more times. Inhale through the belly, big breath. Exhale with a sigh. Last one, make that biggest one yet. Exhale fully and completely. And let the hands fall down by the sides. Now, notice your knees. Notice if they're completely locked out. If you feel like you're totally locked out, just give yourself a little micro bend in the knees. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Follow your hands with your gaze. Exhale, twist over to the right. Make your arms into a T. Inhale, raise your arms up to the sky. Exhale, turn to the left. Open your arms to a T. Inhale, raise your arms to the sky, follow the hands of the gaze. Exhale, drop your right hand down behind you. Left arm crosses the midline as you turn to the right. Take a little micro back bend here. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, drop the left hand behind you. The right hand crosses the midline as you take this tiny back bend. Inhale, come back to center. Let's put these together. Exhale, open up to the right side with the arms to a T. Inhale, drop the right hand down behind you. Left hand crosses over top of you. Inhale, reach the arms up to the center. Exhale, open up to the T, to the left side. Inhale, reach the right arm up overhead. Left hand drapes behind you. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, come back to center. This time, as you exhale, you're going to hinge at the hips. So imagine that you're karate chopping the hips back, and then you're hinging forward with a flat back as you come to a forward fold. Once you're here, you can grab your blocks, use them as a place for your hands to land. Let your head hang heavy, and then sway your hips side to side. Then grab opposite elbow with opposite hand, nod your head yes, and shake your head no. Then sway from side to side. Then let your head hang heavy. You can move the blocks if you're using them. Make yourself just hang as much as possible. Feel the lengthening through the back of the neck, through the upper spine, into the low spine, you might even feel it in your low back, in your glutes, your hamstrings, definitely the hamstrings. Everything's connected, so just notice the sensation you're feeling. Now, we're going to take a deep inhale. As you create space for the belly, you're going to gaze past your mat. Put your hands on your shins. Shoulders are away from the ears. And then exhale, plant your hands and step back into a tabletop. From here, shift your hips from side to side. Now take some hip circles. You can reverse each side. You can hold it in places that might feel a little tight. Whew, like right here. You don't have to follow what I'm doing. Just follow your own breath. Move at your own way. And then come back to a strong tabletop. So what that means is you have your knees underneath your hips, your toes are untucked, your hands are right underneath your shoulders, your fingers are wide like starfish, and you're pressing away from the floor. So your shoulder blades are actively pressing away from one another. And the belly button is up into the spine here. Your gaze is neutral, meaning that you're almost creating a triangle with your gaze. So your hands are the base of the triangle, and you're staring at a point just ahead of your hands in the middle. From here, you're going to drop the belly as you gaze forward. Cow pose. And then as you exhale, tuck the chin and chest around through the spine. Let's do this 4 more times. Inhale, drop the belly, look forward. Exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, come back to that cat. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, cat pose. Last one. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, round through the spine. Come back to a neutral spine. And extend the right leg long behind you, tuck the toes down, and then send the weight back into the heel, feeling the lengthening through the ankle, the calf, maybe up into the hamstring. Hold it. And then switch sides, shift forward, put your leg back underneath you, send the left leg long behind you, toes down, send the weight back into the left heel. Little calf stretch here. Let's do the other side. Let's do that right side again. So send the weight back into the heel. This time you're going to pulse it out 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch sides. Left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you're keeping your belly button tucked in. You've got that strong core. You've got that strong pressing away from the floor. Your fingers are pressing into the floor, creating a suction cup with your hands here. Now you're going to tuck the toes, send the hips up and back into an upside down V. So downward facing dog here. Now lift each heel one at a time as you shift your weight into one hip and then the other. Ooh, pedaling out your dog here. Feel all the feels in the back of the legs. Ooh. I'm a dork. And then find stillness and your heels down as far as they go. Open up your chest towards your thighs. Keep your knees bent here. You're sending your head through the window, but you're not doing it by just doing the head, right? So look at the difference. If you look up at me, I'm like sending my head through the window. That's not what I want. I want the chest to open up, your head to come through, really opening up through your chest. Feel the lengthening through the back of the legs into the low back. Keep those fingers wide like starfish, creating that suction cup with your hands. And then walk your feet to the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. We've been here before. From here, you're going to take a deep inhale, looking past your mat halfway, hands on the shins. Exhale, back to forward fold. Inhale, rise up one vertebrae at a time, stacking your spine. Raise the arms up overhead. And exhale, rainbow the hands down by the sides. Inhale, reach the arms up, gaze up at your hands. Exhale, twist over to the right side, arms to a T. Inhale, drop that right hand behind you, left arm comes up overhead. There's a hummingbird outside my window. How cute is that? And then inhale, come back to the center, gazing up at your hands. Exhale, twist over to the left, arms to a T. Drop your left hand behind you, right arm comes up overhead. Exhale here. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hinge at the hips as you dive into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift, gaze past your mat. Exhale, plant your hands. This time, step back to a high plank instead of your tabletop position. Make sure your shoulders are right over your hands. You're creating those suction cup hands. You're high on your toes, or maybe you're on your knees if you want to modify this. That's okay too. And lower down to your knees this time, and then you're going to lower down by keeping your elbows close to your body. So you're shooting the elbows back behind you like you're trying to elbow someone behind you. Elbow someone. But you're going to control elbow them, and then you're going to bring that chest down to the floor. You can widen your legs a little bit more if you need to here because we're going to come into a back bend. So you're going to push into your hands and come into a cobra. So you're opening up through the front of the body. And as you exhale, tuck your toes and come into a downward facing dog. Pedal out your dog for a moment. And then let's raise the right leg up behind us. Open up the hip into a scorpion tail. Maybe you start to give yourself some ankle rolls here. And then some hip circles. And then close that back down. Let's lift the left leg this time behind us. Open up through the hip. Take some ankle rolls, some hip circles. Oh, and then come back down to your table, or what's this called? A downward facing dog. Lower down to hands and knees. Widen the knees together. Goodness, words are hard today. Widen the knees, big toes touch. Send the hips back towards the heels. Extend the arms long and forehead down to the ground. Child's pose. Let yourself just melt into the floor. Big breath in. Exhale and melt. Walk the hands over to the right. Imagine that you're pressing your right hand away from you and you're pulling your left hand in towards you. You're going to feel that really lengthen that left side of your body. And walk the hands over to the right. This time you're going to imagine you're pulling your right hand in towards you and pressing the left hand away from you. And then walk the hands to the center. Forehead to the ground. Deep breath in. And side out. Walk the hands in. Come to a tabletop. Align yourself again. Shoulders over the hands. Knees under the hips. Actively pressing away from the floor. Suction cup hands. Tuck the toes. Send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And then we're going to raise the right leg, bring that knee into your nose, and then plant the foot at the top of the mat, right in the inside of your right hand. Now your feet are railroaded apart here, not one behind the other. We want a good stable foundation. Make sure your knee is stacked right over the ankle, over that heel. That back heel is lifted. That back leg is nice and long, so you're in this low lunge. Maybe you're up on your fingertips. Maybe you're using blocks here. You can use blocks to raise the floor up towards you. And then you're going to make your chest really nice and long when you inhale. So inhale, lean forward, feeling the hip flexor of that back leg, and your chest is opening up, you're gazing forward. All right, from here, you can continue using your blocks. You're going to leave your left hand down on the block or floor as the right arm opens up to the sky. Taking a twist. Lower that right hand back down. This time, bring your right hand to your right thigh, left hand to your right thigh. Lift yourself up to a high lunge. Lift your arms up to the sky. We're taking a little balance here. Maybe you bring your hands together. Maybe they just stay by the ears. Either way, shoulders are away from the ears. Whew. Feel that hip flexor in that back leg. Imagine now We're gonna play with sensation. You are trying to rip your yoga mat apart. So you're taking those legs apart from one another. It's very subtle. You're gonna feel it in your body, but you won't see the movement. And now this time, imagine that you're trying to bring the yoga mat back together. So you're pressing the legs together towards each other. Oh, now come to the middle of both. See that balance in the middle. Awesome. Bring those hands back down. Frame that front foot. Move those blocks if you need to. Bring that right leg up back behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Shake it out. Walk your dog. Whew. How's that left leg feel? How's that right leg feel? Just notice it. All right, we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Foot is flexed, hips are square to the floor. Bring that knee to the nose. Shift your weight forward and plant the foot between the hands at the top of the mat. Railroad your feet so that they're not one behind the other. That heel of that back foot is lifted. The toes are down of that back foot, but that front foot is fully planted. You've got the knee right over the ankle. Maybe use your blocks again to raise the floor up towards you. As you inhale, shift your weight forward and open your chest to gaze to the front of the room. All right. As you inhale, lift the left arm up to the sky, taking a twist. Twist as much as you can. You're opening up through the shoulder, so it's not just an arm rotation. It's not just opening up the arm, right? I'm not just doing this and with my chest down. My chest is opening up to the side of the room. Spinal rotation. And lower that left hand down. Now left hand comes to the thigh. Right hand comes to that front thigh. Find your balance. Find a single point of focus. It's called a drishti, so that you can really find your balance here. And then inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Maybe the hands come together. Maybe they're just parallel by the sides. Now, we're going to play with that sensation again. Imagine that you're trying to rip your yoga mat apart. So you got front leg is going away from you. That's the back leg also goes away from you. Feel that sensation. Now imagine that you're trying to bring the yoga mat back together again. So you're pulling the legs together. Feel that sensation. Hello, different muscles. And then come back to the center of both of them where you are neutral in this lunge. Feel a shake. Yep. You might be sweating. And then exhale, lower down. Move the blocks if you need to. Send that front leg up and back, three-legged dog. And lower back down to a downward facing dog. Okay, let's shift into a high plank or a modified plank on your knees. Up to you. Shoulders are up over the hands. Your shoulders are a little bit past the hands, actually, if you're in this high plank. Lower down all the way with control. Elbows stay close to the body. All the way. Okay. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift to cobra. Exhale back to downward facing dog. And then let's inhale, come to forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, reaching the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, so I'm going to turn towards you. You can stay where you are, but this is just so that you can see what I'm doing. So at the top of your mat, you're going to widen your feet to the width of the mat. Toes are pointed out. So now my feet are outside of my shoulders, okay? They might be in line with shoulders, depends on your anatomy, but we're trying to go for a wide stance here. From here, now I'll turn this way so you can see what I'm doing. I'm initiating the movement by sending the hips back. We're going for a yogi squat. It looks like this. Okay. So it's not active at the bottom. You're going to lose tension at the bottom. So when you're ready, you've got that wide stance, and you're going to come down. Now, from here, you want to make sure that your heels are down on the floor. If they're not, then I want you to get a little bit higher. You can make a little seat and then shift back into your seat to make sure that the heels come down. Okay, this is an option. From the front, it looks like this. Okay, Then wherever you are, whether you have blocks or not, why don't you take your elbows to the inside of your thighs and open them up. Hello. Deep breath in and out. Then, if you have blocks, go ahead and shift forward and remove your blocks. If you don't have blocks, then just stay where you are for a moment until I get situated here. Then you're going to, let me turn this way so you can see what I'm doing. Bring your hands behind you, guide yourself to your bottom. Hello, shake it out. Okay. We're gonna take that left leg, you're gonna bend it in. Okay. Now, if you're able to, shift back till you can feel the lengthening through that quad, that thigh muscle. You might even feel it in the hip flexor, depending on where you are. Now the heel, you're trying to keep it on the outside of your hip here, and try to keep both sits bones, which is the bony part of your bottom, glued to the ground. Then, if you're able to come back onto the forearms, you can do that, or you can come back to blocks. If this is too intense, you can actually turn to your side and just grab the foot, or this is where the optional strap comes in. You can use a strap it around the leg, and use that to extend your reach here. Okay? So find your variation of that. We're gonna hold it here for about 2 minutes. So get comfy. We're actually going to do a minute per side. I meant to say 2 minutes, but it's 2 minutes total for each leg, right? So it's one leg is going to be a minute, the other leg another minute. And then to release this, if you are on your back, you just turn to your side and then extend the leg long, come back to a nice tall seat. And then we're gonna take the opposite leg and we're gonna bend it in. Remember your different options here. It's either with the heel by your side, both sits bones down and you lean back, or you can roll to your side and grab that leg. Make sure not to collapse into your shoulder if you're doing this. Really make it active so you're pressing away from the floor. So look at the difference. I'm collapsed here and I'm active here, okay? And again, if you are on your back, both sits bones are glued down. And also make this one a active posture where you're not collapsing the shoulders, but rather you're pressing the chest up towards the sky. And then really think about pressing your knee down towards the floor. So you're gonna feel this through that front of your leg, that thigh, maybe even your hip flexor. And then start to release that leg. So if you are on your back, go ahead and roll to your side and extend that leg long. And then just gently start to guide yourself to your backs. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll from side to side. When your legs fall over to the right, let them stay to the right. You can shift your hips to the left. Keep your arms open to a T. Both shoulder blades are glued down to the floor, so you're gazing up at the ceiling. Or if you want to take a little bit more of a twist, you'll look over to the left. That top leg can stay stacked, or you can actually extend it long. I'm gonna grab a block. You could do the same and put it under that leg so that it has a place to rest on. Put it under the foot or the leg. And that bottom leg, try to bring it back behind you if you can, if it's in your practice. If not, just leave it where it is. But what you could do is, you can watch my foot. I'm heel toeing it to the opposite side, over to my left. So it's going to open up that front of the leg a little bit more. Now, some people are able to grab that foot and do what's called a cat's cradle. I'm not able to without maintaining the integrity of this posture, so I'm going to leave my leg there. But you could always use a strap, put it around the ankle, and grab it, or you can grab it with your hand if you're able to do that. So you'd grab that bottom leg with your left hand. And then start to turn your gaze over to the ceiling if it's not already there. Start to take that top leg if it's long and bend it to meet the bottom leg. Bring that bottom leg back underneath you if you've tried to pull it back behind you. Tuck the knees in, shift yourself back to the center so that the hips are now in line with your mat. And shift your weight from side to side, taking a little knee tuck with that low back massage on the floor. Let your knees fall over to the left. Open arms to a T. Take that block if you want. Put it underneath, preparing it for that top foot if you want to extend that top leg. Bottom leg, you can start to shift it back behind you a little bit more. You can heel toe it to the other side towards the right. And if you're able to grab it here, like I can actually grab it on this side, the other side I could not. So you can grab that bottom foot if you want with your hand or a strap or a towel or something. And then gaze over to the right if you would like. And then start to turn your gaze back to the center if it's not already there. If you are grabbing that back leg, release it. Start to bring that top leg, bending it in to meet the bottom leg, and then guide your knees back to the center as you take that final little knee tuck by massaging your hips beneath you, or your low back beneath you. Take anything else you'd like to take. You could take a happy baby. You could do anything at this point. You could take an inversion of some sort if you want to do a headstand, if that's in your practice, and you can do it safely. I'm not going to teach you how to do that today. And then let's allow ourselves, once you're done with that final pose that you're doing, to take up as much space as you want on your mat. Release your hair if you want to do that. Let the arms fall down by the sides. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in. Shavasana. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a nice deep breath in as you raise your arms up overhead, reaching your fingertips away from your toes. And then as you exhale, roll to your side, any side. Hug your knees into your chest, let your head rest on your arm, and give yourself gratitude for taking this time, for allowing yourself to restore the body and take care of yourself today. Gently press into your hands, bring yourself to a seat. Hands can be in your lap or at your heart. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. The light in me loves and honors the light in you. Namaste.